Doom.
I mistimed it. Damn.
Yeah, but I could barely tell what the song was before it got to the famous note.
I didn't know how to reset it. Oh man, no, that was a. You live and learn. You live and learn.
What a time to live in, guys, when a hedgehog topples a Lion King, you know?
No. If people remember, I said it last week on the podcast that this was going to happen. And it was like, oh, Lion King, this makes a lot of money. Blah, 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 blah. I was right. It made double the amount it made.
Sure.
I thought we all knew this was going to happen.
No. Dave Christian argued against me. I remember it clearly.
It's still funny to see that in real life, which is what I'm trying to say, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay, look, what a difference does it make when a studio gives something that fans never asked for as opposed to another movie that fans did ask for, you know?
It's number 1 globally, but it's number 2 domestically.
Losers.
So.
What about? Hey, I went to the movie theaters. I know who all the kids want to go see. I know who. You know how many people I saw came in with their Sonic merchandise, their Sonic costumes. I'm like, Jesus, this looks like a mini convention of Sonic stuff, man. Like,
just wait till this summer when everyone goes to the movie theater with their Superman capes on.
There you go. That would be funny. The Superman capes are gonna have a Superman bathrobe, just like walking in.
God dang! You see, I would never have. I would never have the stones, quote unquote, to ever dress up as Captain America for a Captain America movie. But that's just me.
I literally already bought a cape. I bought a cape for Christmas just to go watch this movie because I'm going to see the movie on my birthday. The movie comes out on my birthday.
Wait, which movie?
Oh wow!
Superman.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I bought a $30 cape. That looks perfect.
Oh, hey, audience, by the way.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Start.
Okay, yeah, might as well start. Okay, well, let me get started. Welcome to Comic Phanatic Live, the review of Sonic 3, audience. You're here with me, Cryptid Secret 415. I'm eating my eggs. Move on.
Yep. You're with me, Jake Tallador. This is I've asked for. Well, I didn't ask for this movie, but I got it. So how do I feel? Well, why not? So yeah.
Ace Comics Bricky Wall here, and I want to say my famous Maria impression of shadow, the light, the darkness, and that thing was killing me all week, man.
Okay, well,
there's context that is missing, but I promise you.
Going off of that, I am Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and I'm gonna do my best shadow impression when Maria is about to get killed. Okay, ready? Maria! There you go. That's all you get.
Maria!
No, okay. I have feelings about that one random scene, but I'm gonna get to it when we get to it. But like,
Gotcha.
It doesn't feel desperate enough. It just feels, yeah.
Listen, for now, all you need to know is that together we form the Fanatics, and we talk about the news reviews every week. And on our Sunday nights, we talk about very big movies. And one of those movies tonight, as you can see, is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Not the game, the movie. We already know the plot here. Sonic is facing off against Shadow and Gerald, I guess, and Eggman. And they're going to go save the world or die trying or some shit. Either way, this is so long to Sonic the Hedgehog. So, yeah, all right. We also have social medias, which,
yeah, we do have that. First of all, please subscribe to the channel because that would be such an amazing holiday gift if you did that for us,
Mm-hmm.
You can also follow us on Twitter at Comic Fanatic 69. We post updates on there like how I did tonight. You get update schedules if anything changes. Like this week will be a little bit different, Yeah, but if you don't want to follow like the whole crew, but you just want to follow me, your boy, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Yoin with an E instead of a U because, yeah. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at witch_of_Jotunheim. You can also follow me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Northstar Aria. And if Jake or Cryptid remembered too, most likely Jake because I only sent it to him. All my socials minus my Newgrounds account because I forgot to put that in there. You can find it all on my Linktree. But if you want to find Austin, Austin is a brick wall with bright blue eyes and hot pink blush. If you look close enough, you will spot him in London, if you catch my drift. And if Jake, where are you?
Well, I came to Tokyo because that's kind of, I mean, not Tokyo. I came to San Francisco because that's where Sonic Adventure 2 is supposed to take place. But for some reason, they moved it to Tokyo. So, I'm getting lost. I got to catch the plane to Tokyo, see if I can see Shadow, kill everybody live. We'll see. So.
Cool. And Crypt is in the same spot because, the day that there's a Sonic game in Jersey, it'll be a great day. And yeah. And don't ask where I am. You will never know where I am. I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Austin was injured in this movie when a certain character power drived another character through a wall, and Austin had to be the stunt wall, and he got injured. But he's still around. He's kicking, as you can see.
Yeah, he's perfectly okay. He's doing great.
He's doing okay.
Austin dead children as usual.
Yeah. Wow.
Uh-huh.
That said, I guess we'll get started. I guess I don't think I missed anything, but I get Cryptid.
General consensus? It was enjoyable. I liked it. There were fun moments. There were I'll admit I'm not as hardcore of a Sonic fan as some of the guys here, but hey, I can recognize the fandom. I went to the theater to go watch this. I saw the hardcores of the hardcore fans in that theater audience. I saw people coming in their Sonic merchandise, their Sonic memorabilia. I saw little kids dressed as Shadow, as Sonic and Tails. Yeah, we all knew that. Yeah.
I would have brought in my giant Shadow the Hedgehog plushie, but there was a problem. I had work right beforehand, an 8-hour shift, and I did not want him there. Okay.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So if hypothetically, if I was to see this movie again, I probably would have brought my giant Shadow plushie, but yeah, that didn't happen. So here we are.
Makes it feel better, which more than enough people did end up doing that. So,
there's a funny thing about my experience going to see this movie. So when I first bought my ticket, there was absolutely no one in the theater in my specific time because I went to go see it at 9:30 at night because remember I had work.
Yeah.
God forbid, And so I thought I was going to be the only person there. I kind of was, but there was 2 other people there. But that's fine. They were like all the way in the front. I was all the way in the back. It's fine. I didn't end up bothering anyone. They didn't end up bothering me. We were okay. But I was like, am I the only person here? Damn. Also, I still need to buy my Nosferatu tickets. So go watch Nosferatu when it comes out, besties.
Gotcha.
That's my free promo for the day.
Gotcha. But anyway, so yeah, those are really my first impression thoughts on the film, audience. We can move on to the next.
Which can go next?
Well, I liked the movie. I thought it was really fun. How do I do this? So, I'll like Cryptid. I'm not the biggest Sonic person, but I like Sonic. No one's denying that. I didn't play it like a whole bunch as a kid, but I remember one of my first interactions with this franchise was playing Sonic Rush on the DS. With Blaze and Cream, I think. Yeah, I had a good time with this movie. At the end of a very certain scene, I literally yelled out like, "Suck it, Jake! I was right," because I was right. You'll find out sooner or later what I'm talking about when I said, "Suck it, Jake! I am right." Right, Austin? I was right.
Yeah.
If it's what I heard you say backstage, I don't think I was wrong either. But
yeah.
Regardless, I was still right. But no, there was just like one scene, like one main scene that like low key bothered me. I know it's like the biggest nitpick that here, but like I don't know, it just didn't feel right for this scene to be at that very specific point. But it worked better in the credits. than it did in the movie itself. I'll explain more in detail when we get to it, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like Keanu Reeves as Sonic. I'm sorry, not Sonic,
Oh.
Shadow. Sorry, not sorry.
Thank you, Witch. You
Oh
are now
wow.
my favorite on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't
I love
like his voice. I'm sorry, Keanu, but like you don't fit.
He's too monotone in everything he does, man. I don't think that it doesn't work for me.
My Maria impression was better than him yelling out Maria. I'm just gonna be honest about that.
Well, he can't win everybody, I guess.
He's
So.
just playing himself. That's all he was doing.
Oh, you want to talk about playing yourself? Oh, we'll get.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Which you act like that's the only actor in this movie that's playing themselves, man. Like
But that's like the major one that I've noticed.
No, we gonna have a conversation.
Well, no, yeah.
Austin, you go.
We're gonna have a conversation later.
You go next, Austin. You go next, Austin.
It was okay. It's not a bad film, but I don't think I'm gonna watch it again. I'll just probably watch it in clips, to be honest. Like Witch said, I didn't like Keanu Reeves. I didn't like Eggman.
Oh.
Wait,
Oh,
which
God.
one? Which one? Both of them.
Gerald. The regular one is what I expect at this point, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Gerald was the one who needed a lot more, and they flip flop really hard with him. It felt like a tone shift with how they handled him in the final act.
Yeah, no, I can see your point on that. I didn't really like a lot of the scenes with Gerald Robotnik.
There are a couple scenes I really enjoyed with him, but we'll get more into that.
Ain't gonna be everything that me and Jake Wormson hated. Wormson. That's why I'm gonna pass it to Jake and let him get him general thoughts, and we can move on and actually start talking.
So, just for context for people who don't know me, but ever since I was like a kid, 2005 Hurricane Katrina, I wanted a Sonic Adventure 2 movie, but I knew the type of.
You had to hype that up. It's the hurricane.
Are you really hyping up Hurricane
I was in the freaking fight
or like
for this
Hurricane Tortilla?
Storm, and I said, you know what, Sonic Adventure 2, let's make it happen. But I wasn't delusional. Okay, I knew what Sonic was. I figured it was never going to get that movie. I said, Sonic X probably the best we're going to get, and fuck that show because I didn't like it as a kid at the time. And so when we finally got here, I was like, oh, we're here. We're going to get the Sonic Adventure 2 movie. And I was like, this is it, I guess. I was really excited to see it. And I left away from that movie, and I was like, I would be willing to give this a 9 out of 10. If it wasn't for that Gerald motherfucker, this
No.
Thank you.
Oh God.
As right now, we are sitting on arguable, a very contentious 7 out of 10 for me. Okay.
Because of Gerald.
Yeah, I'm at a 6.
It could be a 6.5. Now, Krypton, before you say everything you like about Gerald, let me recap the audience on who Gerald Robotnik is. Gerald Robotnik is the grandfather of Eggman. He lives his whole life because he wants to spread peace through technology and science around the world. He's a good man, okay? His driving force in life was to help Maria be cured of an incurable disease. But as he was doing that, he had the president on the phone being like, hey, Gerald, you mind giving me some immortality? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I guess. He had Gunn ask him, hey, can you make us weapons of mass destruction? He's like, okay. And the only reason he did this was for Maria's sake. There was a lot that went into why Gerald went mad and wanted to kill everybody, okay? It's very emotional. If you read his journal and Shadow of Generations, it's a very emotional read. So to see this man in this movie act a damn fool for like an hour was so annoying. It was so
I'm so glad that we all agree.
Oh wow.
He gets away with it because he's Jim Carrey. So no one cares. And also the fact that everyone doesn't care because it's, let's just be real, it's because it's Sonic. That's the only reason people don't hold it to a higher standard. I know Sonic is more popular than he's ever been in years, but he's still seen as Sonic. Okay, that's all this really is. I'm sorry. There's so many problems with his storyline in the movie. It actively drags it down to the whole movie down to an annoying degree. Even though I'm not even sure if he really even cares about Maria, even if we just ignore the game stuff. I don't even believe he really cares about Maria. He's spending most of the movie just doing dance offs and fucking like roller coaster rides. Like, who has time for this? Like, meanwhile, Shadow is like conflicted. He's like trying not to cry. He's on all these emotional flashbacks. Like, I believe he cares about this little girl. Gerald, the only thing you get from him is one flashback scene where a guy's like, "Oh, Gerald always likes having Maria around." Like, okay, what else?
He wasn't even in that scene. That's the worst part.
It's like,
Some random guy told us that.
what they do with Gerald Robotnik is character assassination. Plain and
Ooh,
simple.
not the character.
Character assassination.
No, it is.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not denying it.
Just so Jim Carrey can have an extra line to be funny. There is no moment in the movie, and I'm just gonna say this one scene, and that's it. There's no scene that takes me out the film more than when there's an epic moment with Sonic and Shadow later in the film, way later, and then in the midst of that, it cuts to Gerald Robotnik spanking Eggman.
Dude,
what the fuck?
Dude, I thought that was so weird. I was like, what are you doing?
He's punishing him like a grandpa. You will not go against your elders' plan
He's
to
trying to
destroy
destroy the world because they got his granddaughter killed. He has more important shit to do than touch another man's butt right now, okay?
Hi, Knuckles.
We got a comment. Knuckles Punches says, Hi, Knuckles.
And what's crazy is I've argued with this with Sonic, and that's not really an argument. I think every Sonic fan I've talked to so far agrees it's a weird, Gerald's characterization is weird, but they just accept it because it's Jim Carrey. So this already tells me that when this movie ages, people are going to look back on this and be like, actually, this was like a really weird plot point in the movie. It was, so I'm already annoyed with that. Second movie's better. But I will say there's a lot of good things though. Getting all my frustration out. A lot of good things.
No, get the frustration out, and then I think we should be good.
Yeah, Team Sonic is very enjoyable in the movie. Oh, let me answer this real quick. Knuckles punches. How many times do we see Knuckles and Shadow encounter? It's just the one time. I don't think
like once.
Yeah, just once. Yeah.
Yeah. The scene in the trailer is literally that's it.
Yeah. The Team Sonic is really good. I really also want to give a shout out to how they wrote Knuckles in this movie because looking back on Sonic 2, he's easily one of the best characters in this franchise. And they didn't do the Drax the Destroyer route where they dumbed him down. He is still the same intelligence level as the last movie, as the Knuckles show. And he also has a lot of heart to him. There's a scene between him and Sonic that was really touching. To see how much, and it showed how much he cares for Sonic, even though he doesn't agree with him. I think it's my favorite scene in the movie on an emotional level. The thing about Keanu Reeves is I don't mind him, but it's because they didn't let him speak that much, so I don't really have much to go with. I will say it's weird that he never says Chaos Control once in the film. I thought that was
okay. They had to, Jake. They had to keep some.
He doesn't do it in the film, like at all.
They have to keep some good stuff for future movies down the line. You know,
that's not good stuff. That's casual thing he should be doing.
Yeah. Okay. I did like there's a fight between Sonic and Shadow at the end that is really hype. I think it could have been better. Knuckles Punches says, so stupid. I wish we saw a real fight with them too. Yeah, I think that could have been, we could have got one more fight with Team Sonic and Shadow, but I think it would have been repetitive because
after they acted like he broke his wrist in that trailer scene, I didn't want to see him fight again ever.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be criticism later on with Shadow I have. But yeah, I did think Team Sonic was the best part of it. I did like what they do with Sonic's character later. I appreciate it's something again you would never really see in the games because I don't think anything would stop Sonic from reacting the way that he was going to had that tragic moment happened. If it was game Sonic, but movie Sonic because he's a more growing character. You kind of we get the luxury of seeing what that would be like. I did like there was also a scene with Sonic running through.
I disagree.
We'll get to it. There was a scene of Sonic running through London, which and I actually liked it. It showed great characterization for Sonic because it's the closest I felt to like, oh yeah, that is something Game Sonic would do on the way to an objective. He's got to show off and be stylistic and all that, even though people are like, hurry up. But there was stuff like that I really liked. there was, like I said, I think everything on Sonic's side of the story I really enjoyed, and I did enjoy Stone's arc, even though I didn't like how Eggman and Gerald were handled. I did enjoy Stone.
Yeah.
Who doesn't enjoy Stone? Haters.
I guess at this point, like you would all agree at least that Stone was an upgraded character by this point in the film, you know?
Easily one of the more enjoyable humans in this
Yep.
franchise.
Well,
Knuckles Puncher says, "I'm pretty sure he underestimated Shadow at first. Maybe later he could actually give Shadow some trouble." Um, I'll address that. This is gonna lead to a problem I have with Shadow, but I'll address that
Yeah.
later.
hey,
Tevius
Tevye here.
says, "I love this movie." Yeah, I just think the movie's better.
Tevye, how did you feel about Gerald? Let us know your opinion here in the comments.
It was terrible. Like I said, if Sonic was respected as much as like a Marvel movie, I promise you, Joe would not slide. Because let this have happened to like Thanos or something like that. Like Jim Carrey played Thanos the same way, y'all would hate as much. I promise you. But yeah, like I said, I think at the end of the day, I think there's a lot to enjoy the movie, but none of it has anything to do with Jim Carrey. I think this is the first movie he actively drags it down. I think in the second movie, he's better, but he's not perfect, but I can live with that. I think in this movie, this is the first time I was like, oh my god, Jim Carrey's actually ruining this movie for me. But yeah, Tevye says, I personally thought Gerald was super good and super funny.
I knew we had things in common, Tevye.
All right, Tevye. You're done. You're done. Tevye is over the watch.
We had something in common, so yeah.
Because even if we ignore Gerald from the games aside, if you really looked at Gerald as a character in this movie, he actively.
If your motivation is to destroy the world because your granddaughter got killed, in the whole movie you're just fucking around, you're not a good character, okay?
Yeah.
Add
to the fact that there's nothing. Keep in mind, Gerald's supposed to be the smartest mind in the universe, and unlike the games, there's nothing to back that up. So he just kind of seems like there's nothing really to substantiate that. So he's just kind of a throwaway villain.
He's a good inventor in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But smart, not really.
Knuckles Puncher says, I'm pretty sure the wrist twist was only super speed and chaos control plus skills only.
Chaos control is not in this movie. I'm sorry to say that.
Actually not.
That's not a spoiler. That's just straight up. It's not here.
If you want to hear Keanu Reeves' chaos control, go play the Shadow DLC. Shadow Generations.
Let me read Tevye's comment. Plus, Jim Carrey was tons of fun, and plus, video game Gerald is more dark character and complex. This Gerald is different version, but I was fine with it.
The problem with it is that he's not Gerald at all. Like, he's borderline not Gerald. Only in name, only. And even if I gave you that he's different, Sonic's different. I'm okay with him. Knuckles is different. I'm okay with all the different, like, Sonic characters. Gerald is just flat out just doesn't work in this movie, to me.
They have to keep at least the core of the character, and Gerald doesn't have any of that.
Now people know how I feel about MCU adaptations of my favorite characters.
I always felt like that, to be fair. I saw like phase 1 and 2. I feel like they messed a lot of stuff for me.
And I feel like even with those MCU changes, at least they work in the movie that they're trying to tell, at least for the most part. We can get to the nitty-gritty later, but in most examples I think of, those changes work. When I think of this movie, Gerald just doesn't work in the context of the film he's in. He has, and admittedly, the scene where he's dancing with Eggman, which is in the trailer, so the reason I'm saying it, it's funny out of context, but in the context of the film, it's like, bro, like we're doing something very important right now. Why are you just fucking around?
What about that time they stopped the film just so they can hang out?
Right, they stopped. Yeah, there's like 3 times in the movie they stopped the film.
It's Gerald trying to win his grandson over.
For what? Like, he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't need him. He does it. Shadow the Hedgehog was freaking fantastic and tons of fun and adapted amazing for me, especially because I'm a diehard Shadow the Hedgehog fan, in my opinion. That I don't see how.
What did Shadow do in this movie that was fun?
Shadow has one good scene, but I guess I've taken the floor enough. I'm just going to end it with this. Sonic 2 is a better film, and I feel like as time goes on, people are going to start realizing that. I really just think it's because
Sonic was a better film. Tom the Human, #1, greatest film of all time. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, Tom, Donut Lord.
I feel a lot of what people have for this film is because they take scenes and moments directly from the games and put them in the movies, which I like all of those, but that's not going to win me over as a fan. I don't care if it's the MCU or Sonic, it's never going to win me over with that stuff.
Hey, Austin, I'm going to get you a Donut Lord knitted sweater. Is that okay?
I would love it. That was my prized possession.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Gotcha. But all right, I guess we're done with the spoiler-free stuff. You guys want to get into the spoilers now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Who wants to Okay.
Okay, I
well,
want to start with something.
Well, hang on. I gotta do the warning. I gotta do the warning. Spoilers. At this point,
Spoilers. Get the fuck out if you haven't seen it yet. Go away.
Our final ratings for me 7 out of 10. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'll give you the same. I think Sonic 2 was
I'll-
better.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'm sorry. There are a lot of fun moments with Robotnik and Gerald that I just had laughs at.
Jay convinced me I'm going down. I'm going to 5.
Oh wow. Okay, well, Tevia's saying I will give this movie a 5 out of 5. Perfectos. Plus, after suffering through Craven movie, made me so belut. Oh, sorry, so happy. Okay. Spell error there. Okay.
And just to me, it's a shame that this movie does. It just shows me how little respect Sonic actually has compared to I mean, it's a lot more, but it's just little respect. That's all.
Knuckles punches. If you're still in the chat, give us your rating for this film. So, okay.
You know.
Mm-hmm. But all right, who wants to start us off?
I want to start. I have something I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Okay, so you know that scene towards the end where Shadow and Sonic are in their super forms and then they're like fighting all the robots, and you know that scene where they recreate that moment in Sonic Adventure 2.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like that scene there. I do prefer it in the credits. That's what I was talking about earlier.
What scene? When they're fighting the robots together?
Yeah, where they're fighting the robots and then they recreate the iconic scene from Sonic Adventure 2 where they cross each other and they pose.
I didn't like it because for some reason Shadow was smiling, and I'm like, it works better when he's scowling in that shot. But I think
Shadow doesn't smile.
I think, I do really appreciate how hard that this team went to try to make this an SA2 adaptation with their characters. In the process of doing it, it really feels like diet SA2. Because SA2 is like a weird, in a little ways, without being the best written story, it is to me one of the best. Like, if you want to understand Sonic, it's SA2. The clashing characters, the interesting lore, the crazy, wacky plots, the silliness it gets to, like that's all in SA2. I like to call the Echidna. That's all in SA2.
I was referencing the Snapcube Sonic fandom like the entire time. Every time there was like a good reference, I was like, I was like, oh my god, Shadow, Sonic, do you like getting peed on? Yes, I do.
What the?
Oh, we gotta show you.
I agree with Witch about it though, because in the context of him just deciding we got to save the world, all this stuff, it feels weird to pause the movie again. They're like, look, they shot you and Shadow's like super happy. He was just about to kill this thing at airport, about to murder everybody 2 seconds ago. It's like, I don't think it's a good scene in context.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, Tevia saying, heck, we got the moon destroyed, which is funny. Oh, okay. Now I know the real reason.
Moon.
Now I know. Yeah, now I know the real reason why Jake is downgrading this film now. Okay.
I love that scene. What are you talking about?
We talk about that all the time. They pissed on the moon.
No, what I'm saying is, what I was trying to get at is like my problem with the movie is like it does really well at trying to adapt SA2, but it also just feels like a diet version of what that was. Like the final battle being Super Sonic and Super Shadow versus a bunch of mechs versus in the game when it was them versus a giant kaiju.
Oh, you mean the Captain Marvel ending we got?
Live and Learn is fine. I like Live and Learn being in the movie, but to have it go from that to cutting to Eggman getting spanked is like really a tone cutter. I'm sorry.
Getting spanked by a giant mechanical hand, man? Come on.
Cryptid, I'm telling you, put this in the context of any other movie. If that happened in Avengers, you'd be like, "Oh, this is stupid." If that happened in like any serious movie, you'd be like, "No, this is dumb. This doesn't work." That's what I'm saying.
If that was Captain America getting spanked by someone related to him, you'll be mad. I don't know it right now.
That's what I'm saying. But because again, I just think because people don't take Sonic seriously, even up to this time. Yeah, I mean the violence in Tevia. But yeah, it's just those scenes are just really annoying.
Sonic. Okay, Tevia is saying Sonic getting revenge against Shadow was super dark and very insane, but I loved it.
I love that.
I
love that.
I don't think it was super dark. If they wanted to be super dark, he should have kept pummeling Shadow. The moment he had Shadow down, he should have kept going and then stopped.
I mean, I did like the deep tone and went through where Shadow was like saying, yeah, look, Sonic, for all your talk, like you're doing the exact same thing I did when I lost a loved one or when one of my loved ones got hurt. You know?
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it would have been. I think it would have been more effective if he was actually really did hurt Shadow in doing so.
Yeah.
But Shadow just gets up fine and just move on.
Yeah, I think honestly, if it was Game Sonic though, and I don't mind it. I just like if it was Game Sonic, I think he would actually beat up Shadow a lot more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, when you brought up in your spoiler-free review, we were like, oh, it was a Game Sonic situation. I don't think he would have taken that part when Tom got hurt and stuff. I was like, that was Tails, like legit injured by Shadow before that fight. He would have dogged Shadow in that fight. That would not be a fight.
I misspoke. I was trying to say without spoiling it. I'm saying that Game Sonic would absolutely kill Shadow. That would absolutely.
That's what I mean. It was like, yeah, if that dude, for his point of view, his father got killed. I want him to once he had Shadow on the ground, I want him to hit him a few times before he stopped. Like to really sell his anger and stuff, how lost he was in it.
Gotcha. Well,
to be fair, I'm not saying that's a knock against the film. I still like the scene.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Tevi is saying, well, we don't need to go extreme dark, but holy beep, Supersonic and Super Shadow fighting was super epic. I love it.
I think it was better than what they did it in Sonic X by leagues. I still think it could have been more, but I like the scene.
Dude, I swear, when you see like
Shadow knocking emerald out of Sonic.
Yeah, wait, Crypto, finish your thought, and then I'll jump up.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was about to say, like, when you see like a global view of the Earth, and you see like Sonic and Shadow fighting from different parts of the Earth, I was like thinking, damn, that is a Super Saiyan fight right there, So, I thought that was cool.
They never established that Shadow has a connection to Chaos Energy, which is why him saying Chaos Control is important. So when he does it, it's a bit off-putting because I know he can do that most likely, but I don't know why. You know what I mean? It's just weird that he can do that all of a sudden in the movie. But yeah, it's a good fight. I don't know. It also goes into my Sonic X was a missed opportunity with Super Sonic versus Super Shadow, in my opinion. Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I like it better here. I think my issue with this also goes to my issue with Shadow. I think he's just too strong. I already read this. I think he's too strong in the game. Sonic and Shadow are equals. And their whole rivalry was built on Shadow slowly understanding that Sonic was more than what he thought he was. Because throughout the game, the storyline is that Shadow dismisses Sonic at every turn, but every time he goes up against Sonic, he's like, oh, okay, so you're more than just a blue hedgehog. Oh, wow, you use the Chaos Control with a fake emerald? How the fuck you do that? What's your name? Like the game is like really interested in Sonic to the point he's even saying like, you know what, Sonic? Maybe you're the ultimate life form. Maybe I'm not that guy, So it is.
So yeah, I agree that the fact that I think Sonic called Shadow fake, right? I think that was like what the hell in the movie. Like it made no sense.
Yeah. No, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, they're talking about why you look like me. He looks nothing like you. He just happens to be a hedgehog.
Yeah, that's them referencing something but not understanding it. In the game, originally Shadow does look like Sonic. Like in the concept art, in the script phase, Shadow did look like Sonic. That's why they confused him for Sonic in the game. They just never fixed the script to reflect that. But in the movie universe, we know they don't look alike, so I don't know why they kept that in. That was kind of weird.
And then they had everybody talk about it.
Right.
I think it would have been fine if Sonic did talk though, but every character talk about it. And that's it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think like I said, I think Shadow's too strong. I think him and Sonic should always be equals. Because then you run into problems where it's like when the world's in trouble and Sonic can't do it, why isn't Shadow here? And I also think it would have been more interesting. I think it would have been more interesting because the dynamics of like if Sonic had fought Shadow at first and he was equally matched, and then Tails and Knuckles helped and they force Shadow back, and then Shadow's like, okay, next time I fight these guys, I gotta fight them one at a time, and then I can take on Sonic, and then they could have done something like that. I think it would have been more interesting personally, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about Shadow in the movie and how he was handled?
This really kind of made me see why they wanted to go with Keanu Reeves as Shadow, because hey, Shadow was using a gun in this film, wasn't he?
No,
the motorcycle.
Yeah, he picked it up, but he didn't really use it. That was it.
Gotcha. But that Shadow was okay. I mean, I'm not that super deep or invested in the Sonic lore to really give like an in-depth analysis of like, oh, this doesn't match what the authentication of Shadow was in the comics or
Well,
shows.
even if I took all that away, I think Shadow just okay. He's just a bootleg version of what Knuckles was in the last movie.
Yeah, they
Knuckles
literally end the same way. Like, oh, we fought. Let's talk it out, and then we just move on.
Yeah, God vs. Gotcha says Amy Rose at Metal Sonic is coming to Sonic 4. Yes.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to it. Yeah.
Technically speaking, this is his first appearance, which is cool. Him being super strong is fine, but him being stronger than Sonic, I think, is problematic because they're supposed to be equals. And this is not even talking about from a game standpoint. Again, when it comes to the end of the world and Sonic can't handle it, then you're just thinking, why isn't Shadow here? That's never an issue in the games because you realize if Sonic can't handle it, most likely Shadow can't either. So so you don't really think about it that often. I think it's just a bad idea to have Shadow be that much stronger than Sonic, to where Sonic needs a super form just to fight him is insane. I just don't like that. But yeah, Tevia says I was so happy how he was handled. Fantastic. Yeah. I think in the movie, Shadow and Knuckles compared to Knuckles, Shadow gets less to do. He doesn't speak as much. You get enough to understand who he is, but not enough to establish a solid personality. Or even
he doesn't get much time with Maria. He gets one scene.
Yeah, which if people want to be fair, that is how it is in the first game. But you do see how Maria, because you see Shadow act a lot like Sonic, you get the impression of how much Maria's death has haunted him in that game, to where it made him an evil Sonic. But in this movie, because Keanu Reeves is kind of stoic throughout the film, you kind of don't get that much of an impression that Maria made that much of a difference. It's hard to say, but yeah, I don't know. Tevia says, seeing Metal Sonic and Amy in Sonic 3 post-credit scene made me happy because I never thought we'd get to see Metal. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Wish, what do you think? Well, you said about it, but do you have any further thoughts on Shadow?
I wish we would have gotten a little bit more into his psyche, going off of what you guys said.
Yeah.
But I think that's just me personally. I don't have too much to say that hasn't already been said by you guys. But I feel like if we just would have gotten a little bit more with Shadow, like I do like all the Shadow scenes we got, pre and post, like flashback, I guess you could say. But yeah, no, I think it just would have been kind of funny. Like this would be an actual good comedic moment if they actually played the scene where Maria died, like how they did in the game, where the guy from Gun shot her instead of like a thing exploding, and she died. Like honestly, I think a little bit of comedy would have been funny there rather than seeing Gerald spank a grown ass man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying that scene was awful.
Yeah. Good luck or GK trademark says, question for Comic Phanatic. Who's your favorite voice actor in the Sonic movie 3? I might be biased because the scene was so good. I would have to say Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that they kept him consistent because again, going back to the whole Drax situation, like it could have been easily done by the writers to dumb Knuckles down a bit to just being pure goofy. But again, he's doing the same humor he did when he was first introduced, So
and again, seeing him and Sonic about to go at it, that scene really. Again, I said this for a preview, but that scene really touched me. How like you see how much Shadow sees how much Sonic is hurting, and while he made this vow and they made this promise, and he's serious about it, he's like, I can't see my brother hurt like this. I'll let him have it, but I'm gonna warn you. Like it's bad. Like that whole scene meant so much to me watching that movie. So that's great. That's great shit. But yeah. Tevia says also, man, Maria's death was super tragic in this movie because holy shit, she got blown up, and seeing Shadow in pain was super dark. I don't think it's as dark as the original scene. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's not as dark as being shot and being sent off while you being say goodbye to her.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake, remind the audience how exactly did Maria die in the comics?
In the games, what happened was Shadow was on the way to the pod and with Maria, and Maria put him in the pod, and he got locked in. A gun agent comes in and tells Maria, "Hey, open that fucking pod so I can get Shadow." And she says no, and Shadow keeps begging Maria to open the damn thing, and she won't do it. And the gun agent, in a panic, just shoots her. I think that hits more. I think what I said before in an earlier episode, the reason why Maria getting shot is so important to Sonic fans is because it's the first time in Sonic things got like real. In prior stories, we had Knuckles. We found he was the last of his kind. That was kind of like emotional, but it's like whatever. That's like nebulous.
What are you talking about? They had a guy that ate babies.
Right? Yeah. Well, no, we had a guy who like stomped out the Chow, but the Chow aren't real things. They're like cartoon baby people, and you don't really it's still like fantasy. But like seeing Maria get shot is the first time you see like something that's like, oh, those are two human beings, and another human just shot somebody. That's something that can happen to anybody. That's why I think it resonates with a lot of time. It's like, holy shit, that's a little girl. Like that could be me. I think that's why that scene resonates so much. So to see it get, and I know they did as much as they were allowed to get away with, but I think it cheapens it that it was an explosion and not just a gunshot itself. But I wasn't mad at it. I understood why. But yeah.
Tevi is saying, granted, I am a diehard Shadow the Hedgehog fan myself, so I know his story, but movie Shadow story is also sad and depressing in my opinion. Oh, we got two different views on Shadow in this movie, apparently.
Because like I said, it's the best they could do. I'm not mad at them for not doing the gunshot. It was just better in the game. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Shadow's memory was messed up thanks to Gerald Robotnik, which caused the Shadow to... Yeah.
People forgot about that. That was a big part of the games where Shadow gets he first gets released. He's kind of going mad in a sense. Like he's cackling, he's smiling and stuff, and he does all these evil deeds trying to figure out what's going on. And you find out Gerald before he got captured by a gun when Maria died. Well, somewhere between there. Sonic 2 is not. Sonic 3 is not a great game. Sonic 2 is not a great game. Story-wise, there's a hole in there. But he reprogrammed Shadow's mind and took advantage of this thing he saw as a son to get revenge from Maria. That's how far he went with that.
But it's crazy because in the new game Shadow Generations, when Shadow sees Joe for the first time, he like backs away from him, and it's kind of implied like, oh shit, that's the guy that like fucked me over. So, question for Daddy Comic Fanatic: what was?
So a lot of these people coming from the tweet, because they did tag Sonic Movie 3, so I expect it to happen. But that's funny as hell.
Well, we're happy to have you. Don't forget to subscribe because we review the Sonic comics every month. Well, I do, and so there you go. So
I read them. I just don't review them.
There you go. I guess for everybody, what was your favorite scene in the movie? We can go in usual order, I guess.
Let's see. Give me some time to think about that, actually. Well, I guess it would be, Robotnik's final words to Agent Stone, because I don't know if I kind of want to say my thoughts later on when we actually talk about Stone in this film. So, okay, move on. Well,
Which go?
What was the question again? Sorry.
What was your favorite scene in the movie?
Okay. What was my favorite scene in the movie? That's hard. I don't know. I kind of
just
like
say
the scene.
Stone.
No, because it has Stone in it. I like the scene where they're in the Chow Garden having a good time, but then all hell breaks loose, and then all the egg bots show up, and they're like, "What the hell?" And then Stone is the one that like saves them. I like that scene. But also, I like that scene with Robotnik saying goodbye to Stone. I do like that. I think it's because of the toxic Yowie part.
yeah, definitely.
Awesome. What about you?
Two votes for Stone.
My favorite scene would be Tom getting punched in the chest.
I was gonna say. Because I think it was funny.
Bro, watching him getting boomed, I was like, I wanted to kill Tom. I love Tom. You guys dig? I love Tom the Human.
Yeah, he's a Tom.
I have a shirt that says Tom the Human. Like that's how serious I am about doing that, Lord.
If he could vote for Tom for president, he would. 2024.
Honestly, I trust him as president more than most people.
Yeah, and with them already showing flashback, when Tom's on the ground, they throwing flashback to Maria dying and stuff. I did want them to go that extra mile and go ahead and kill Tom, just because I think it'll add more to Sonic, not killing Shadow in the end, or not going as far as he would have went. And that also would have gave Tom's wife more stuff to do later on if they're continuing to bring the humans back for more and more stuff. So, but that was my favorite scene because Tom's whole reaction to the scene leading up to it was just great. Him turning to him getting the card back from that lady was smart. He just did it the wrong time, and that's sometimes it just how it happens.
Yeah. I think my favorite scene still has to be Knuckles. But just to give a more interesting answer, I think the second one, because the layers to this scene was funny as fuck. But Sonic pile driving Shadow through the yard was just hilarious.
Oh, you're a bitch, bad.
Because it was the fact that like Shadow had no idea what supersonic was. He was like, "Oh, is gun firing like a missile at us?" And Joe's like, "No, it's too fast."
Oh yeah, no, I'll say that's my favorite thing. That was actually pretty cool.
So funny, and like Eggman being the only one to understand what that was just like peak to me. And Sonic straight just going for Shadow. I was like, "This is awesome. This is fucking awesome." So, you know.
Oh yeah, no. Jake, wait, you reminded me of something I want to bring up too about Shadow.
Okay.
Because people don't know. Go ahead, finish your thing though, and then I'll go.
Hey guys, sorry for you guys that I was trying to be nice. No, those you're fine. No, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah. No, we liked it. Don't worry, we liked it.
Yeah. So we're
so Shadow here is still an alien.
Yes.
He's not he just fell from space and Gerald and them got him. So that means they're still leaving stuff open due to Black Arms and Shadow the Hedgehog game itself adaptation.
Yeah.
But the main thing I brought it up because Shadow's powers and everything come from the Chaos Emeralds, but there's no point in this timeline, as timeline is right now, realistically, that Black Arms will ever have the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah. I also think,
and them taking that away from the Eclipse cannon, they're like, bro, what kind of energy source are you doing for this thing?
Yeah,
they think the moon have without the Emerald power.
For people who don't know, in the games, the Eclipse cannon is powered by the Chaos Emeralds. I was also wanted to add that I think that Shadow being a straight up alien is also cutting the balls off Gerald even further because again, Gerald and Eggman are supposed in this movie. They say I'm not even going to use the games in this movie. Gerald and Eggman are supposed to be two of the greatest masterminds of all time, but I don't know if anyone picked it up. The only thing of note Gerald has ever done in his life was design the Ark from prison, but so he hasn't really done anything. In the game, he made Shadow using Black Arm's DNA, so he at least had that. So I mean, like again, I get they wanted to streamline it because if they really went into it, it'd be for the movie to explain. So that's fine. It's just another layer to why Gerald is just kind of like a shittier version of what Eggman already is in this movie. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I did appreciate they did bring the Eclipse cannon though. I wasn't sure if they're going to have it in its full glory, but here they are. They did it.
And they pissed on the moon.
They did. They shot that moon up. They killed that.
They pissed on it. I was sad that Shadow didn't get to piss on a Hot Topic though. That was kind of sad.
That scene was funny though because they may be like, "I did it," and he's like, "Oh, why did you do that?" So funny. I actually like that scene.
I'm just saying, audience, if you want us to watch all the Sonic Snap Cube videos, we will do that for movie night.
Yeah.
We will make sure to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But we needed more on Gerald because, like, without his bond, with seeing anything with Bond Maria, he just kind of come off as an asshole. He even tells Eggman when it comes to grandchildren, you don't know Maria. Like, did you know Maria? It's one thing together, y'all. Like, what's your motivation here? And like, when it comes down to it, even if you destroy the world, what are you gonna do there? Just sit there and die, I guess?
Right. And again,
what's your plan for after this, bro? You gonna live in the Ark and die with Shadow alone?
Another reason it works in the game is primarily because Gerald's dead anyway, so he's just like, "Yo, fuck you on my way out."
Yeah.
Like,
it was the Hail Mary. It was like, I'm just gonna take revenge. I'm already dead. My granddaughter's dead. It doesn't matter. Shadow, internet, the plan, destroy the world.
Yeah. Hi, Wade. Welcome to the podcast. What did you think about Sonic 3? And also, if you're into this type of content, feel free to like and subscribe. But yeah. Outside of that, I guess what else to talk about? Stone? I guess we can get to Stone.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about Stone, Sonic, and Sonic himself. Tails didn't really get anything. And then we talk
And the
about
end credits.
Jessica Jones'
Yeah.
character
I'll
and
leave.
Tom.
I like
I'll leave-
how like I saw her and I was like, is that Jessica Jones?
Yep.
Yeah. So we just got
Mhm.
a few people to bring up.
I'll leave it to you. Well, before I read this, I'll leave it to you guys. Do you want to do
Oh, we got
Stone
comment.
last, since you guys have more thoughts on him than I do, or do you want to do him now?
I think we could do it now.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, we actually got a comment from Garnados07. Do you guys think that Agent Stone might take Dr. Eggman's place since we don't really have an explanation on how Metal Sonic is here? Unless it's one from Sonic Rush whose name you can't say. Yeah, we had a
Uh,
theory about that early on here.
yeah, with them doing the Army of Metal Sonic and Amy being here, I think it's most likely they're doing Sonic CD, which is a time travel story where Sonic is on this planet called Little Planet.
Yeah.
But every time he passes one of these signs, he goes to the future or the past. I believe Stone is like invading like the Earth from the future with Metal
Mhm.
Sonic Army that he didn't build. And it's right
Gotcha.
after Eggman died because Eggman's gone. And someone
Mhm.
has to take over the world in his honor. Might as well be
Yep.
Stone.
Toxic Yowie.
Either that or they're gonna mix this with the metal with heroes, and then all these Metal Sonics are gonna fuse into Metal Overlord or something.
No. Gotcha. We'll see what happens. But yeah, let's also finally give our thoughts on Stone now. Who wants to start us off?
I love him.
Rich, I mean, you seem more invested in it than all. Yeah, what do you feel?
I'm just saying the actor who plays Stone is one of the best people on the internet right now. And if you're not following him on Twitter and Blue Sky, I don't know what you're doing here. He loves all of the Stone stuff. Like like if you tag him or if you just like do the hashtag like Agent Stone or something, he will see it and he loves all of it.
I'm sure he's enjoying all the popularity he's receiving for his character because I do think this is going to be a Phil Coulson situation where I know he was created just for the movies, but given enough traction that this character is having, I'm pretty sure we'll see him in a game or in a comic soon enough. You know,
It's
Okay,
hard to
what
say.
do you
They're usually
Austin,
right here.
me and Austin collectively decided to put Stone with a crown on this cover.
Yeah.
I will be tagging him in this later, okay? On Twitter.
I will admit, like Stone really did grow on me in this movie. Audience for me when it came to Stone because I know he has like an infatuation with Eggman, but I kind of felt like I was the parent in this situation trying to tell Stone, dude, there are better guys out there who can actually respect you. Why are you trying to hook up with a guy who clearly has no respect for you and treats you like garbage?
Have you
I don't get
scripted? I
it.
think it's on that toxic yaoi train because you will understand sooner or later why people
Yeah,
are down.
yeah, I guess that's the only explanation here, you know. But I guess whatever makes you happy at the end of the day, Stone. You know, I wouldn't. I still would more rather you support you finding someone else, but still, you know. That scene at the end where Gerald was telling Eggman like something along the lines of your in your whole life, have you ever met anybody that actually liked you or respected you or something like that? I thought that was a scene where he was finally going to say, "Okay, it was Stone," but for some reason they didn't. They saved that for his literal last words, you know. So yeah, yeah, Stone was cool in this. If his
Love
character gets if his character gets upgraded in the next adaptation of the Sonic movies, hey, I'll say it's well earned at this point, you know.
him.
Yeah,
Love
cool.
him forever.
I thought Stone was cool. This is also my other problem because he's great. There's something no notes for him. He's fine. The whole arc with him is like Eggman is becoming to Gerald what Stone is to Eggman, and I think on paper that's all nice. I just think that they play it off the wrong way.
I think Eggman glazed him way worse than Stone did. Eggman would never let Stone even dance with him in that first movie. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think a more serious Gerald would have done the movie good too. A Gerald that just doesn't care about. Because I also really well. I'll get into that later. But I do think that Gerald not caring about Eggman at all, and they play that up as like every time Eggman close to him, Gerald's like, ugh.
I would have liked that too. Eggman was trying to be a stone, and like Gerald just resisted at every point. I think that would be fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck, Dr. Eggman did call Stone a friend, which was sweet. Yeah, that's really going.
Friend
Hey,
my
that's a
ass.
step up.
They
That's
were
a
more
step
than friends.
up.
I don't
It-
think. I think Eggman's asexual. I'm not gonna lie to you.
yeah,
I don't think he has
yeah,
any type of sex drive.
nah. He's more interested in himself and his work
Yeah.
than be into any
He told you from the
relationship.
start, man. All I care about are robots. Robots are better than people. This is what I care
Yeah.
about. This is my goal.
Yeah, and which, yeah, Eggman did literally state that to Stone in the first movie, saying, "Yeah, my machines can do anything you can do, so I don't really need you." But Stone keeps sticking with Eggman no matter what. Even when Eggman in this movie blocked and reported him online. Dang,
Mm-hmm.
dude. Dang. Okay. So yeah, any more good things you guys want to say about Stone?
I think he's gonna be one of the next major baddies in the next movie.
I think he's one of the only three good human characters in this franchise, and that is Tom, Eddie, and Stone.
Don't you dare talk about Tom's what her name? Sister-in-law. Okay.
Oh,
I said Tom, Maddie, and Stone. I said those are the three good ones.
I'm saying the sister-in-law is a good character. She's a stereotype, but she's a good character.
Okay, I thought you guys were going to say that other
For
deputy.
what she was needed.
I thought you guys were going to say that other deputy. Who was that guy? I forgot that Knuckles had a TV show with. Damn, I forgot his name.
Wade has never been a good human. Wade, the TV show tried.
I'll say this. If there was one moment in this movie that I really hated was the fact that where the Chaos Emerald was being kept protected by.
That pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. That wasn't even funny.
That was the one non-Gerald joke I hated in that whole movie. I was like, this is so stupid.
This is beyond ridiculous. Like,
even if like Knuckles didn't tell you. Knuckles didn't tell you to keep it safe, which is like crazy. He already did that. You know for a fact that's a gem of immense power. You hit that thing the wrong way, you might just die.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?
Right.
Use it as a hockey puck, audience.
What if he hit it so hard to fall off the roof or something? You know what I mean? Like, there's so much stuff that can go wrong here in this situation. You're not in your house. You're in your rooftop playing with it.
You're in your rooftop where anybody can see you, like a satellite signal.
They could have had a bot just fly by and casually grab it because you're an idiot.
Yeah, and I don't think that Knuckles trusts Wade this much. It's like, but I wish he took it seriously because this is like a real thing.
That's what I'm saying. I wish Wade took it seriously because Knuckles put all this faith in him. This is Knuckles' life goal here, and you're playing with it as a joke.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the scene where Sonic gets the Master Emerald back was funnier than like most of the Gerald Robotnik scenes.
I will give you that.
Serious Sonic pulling up on the rooftop was hilarious.
Yeah, the scene of him getting it was hilarious. I just didn't like the setup for the joke. I think that's like, that's what I'll call a Deadpool 3 joke, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. I guess you were talking about. We never gave our thoughts about Sonic as a character. I think actually, he's not as interesting as he was in 2.
I like his arc in the movie though.
I like his arc, but I feel like in 2 it hit a bit more. Like in Sonic 2, there's a lot going on with it. Like he's learning to be a big brother for the first time. He's also learning to be more mature to help other people. And you do see elements of that game Sonic coming into him, which I really enjoyed. I think in this movie, it feels like Sonic's just kind of going through the motions until Tom gets hit. And yeah, so I'm like, I just kind of like, I'm not really as much of a fan about it. He's still enjoyable. Like I said, there was the scene in London where he's running around and he makes a joke about like the George, Ray, the other one. Like I thought that was like that was like his funniest line.
You just reminded me too. We didn't talk about this either with Sonic. They go out their way to try to force him to say game lines. They just doesn't fit his character or the situation he's in.
Yeah. The scene also talking about is the scene in the helicopter where Sonic says like, "Oh, low budget flight." Talk about low budget flights. no food or movies. I'm out of here. I like running better. Like that's the original line. In the game they say the same thing. I mean, in the movie they say the same thing, but it doesn't make as much sense because when Sonic says that, it's a joke about him wanting to leave a hostage situation, basically, or like a prisoner situation.
I'm breaking out of here.
Yeah, I'm breaking out of here. And this one, it's more like, it's all right. I'm just gonna, jump out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really hit the same. I think Ben Schwartz does an okay job with that line, to be fair, to his credit. But yeah, I think the scene where he's getting revenge on Shadow is all enjoyable. I like that he does go down the darker path. Like I said all the time, I was really interested in this character. But I think he only shines in this movie because Team Sonic has a great chemistry in this film. And that's the only reason I kind of give him a pass. If this was like the first movie where he's by himself, I'd be like, he's kind of boring. But he bounces off everyone else so well. I think that's I think it makes up for it. But yeah, what about you guys? How do you feel about Sonic?
I
that was good.
Like I said, I liked his arc in this movie because he's like, yeah, he's still goofy, but like, I think the actor himself said it best. Like when he needs to lock in, he's gonna lock in. You know,
No,
Ben Schwartz said that.
Huh?
Ben Schwartz said that.
Yeah, he said something along the lines of that. Yeah.
We needed that scene when Tom really got hurt to see Sonic get serious. Thought that was a good turning point.
Not the city getting blown up.
It's a personal thing in this.
Not the city getting blown up and then getting your ass whooped easily in like 1 second.
Well, Game Sonic wouldn't care. Game Sonic like, I'll just get up and do it.
Game Sonic would have took that L and was like, nah, bro, I gotta get my get back. All right, that will never happen again.
I'll beat the dog shit up. I would destroy his career.
I'm killing all of you.
The next fight would have been an embarrassment. They don't like, because Sega doesn't like Sonic to look weak. That's literally a rule they have. No. If Sonic looks weak in that arc, he better win big in the final part. That's not a joke. That's literally a mandate they have for their comics.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was again why I didn't want Shadow to be stronger than Sonic. I think that much stronger. I don't want to be a little stronger. But other than that, yeah, I think it was, like I said, he's enjoyable. But I think my other problem is going to be unique to me and a couple other people on the face of this earth. But he sounds, especially in this movie, he sounds way too much like Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja.
Yeah.
He just sounds way too much like him. It's almost the same character. If you watch that old Disney XD show, you could watch it. It's a good show, by the way. Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja. Ben Schwartz plays the main lead, and they sound exactly the same. You will think Sonic.
Every teenager he plays sound the same. Even Leo from TMNT, he played Rise of TMNT Leo. He still sounds the same.
Yeah,
he doesn't make that voice at all when he comes to teenager.
He is funnier in that show, though. To be fair, but yeah, he does sound the same. Tevia asked, what TV show? You can look for it on Disney XD. It's called Randy Cunningham, 9th Grade Ninja. And it's about like not to get nitty gritty. It's basically about a kid who every 4 years they pick a new kid to become the 9th grade ninja. And he's a ninja through high school and he protects the world from magic and all this.
It's an American Dragon, but a ninja. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. It's a fun show. Ended too soon, but you can watch it on Disney XD.
It's probably on Disney Plus.
I mean, Disney Plus. My bad. Yeah, you're right. It is on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Disney Channel is closing, right? Like it's about to end in like next month, I believe.
Oh my god.
Damn, really?
Yeah, Disney Channel is going to be gone. They announced it like a week or two ago. I forgot to put it in the Hot Topics.
Oh dang!
End of an era.
Do we have any other characters we wanted to go over, or are we pretty much
talk about Jessica Jones?
Oh, right. The reason I forgot about her is because she had one major scene and then she just disappears from the movie. And I'm like, oh.
But yeah, it was so weird. It was confused the fuck out of me, man. They kept setting her up 2 times.
Her name.
Her first scene where she's like, I knew they couldn't be trusted. Talk about Sonic and them. When the general got killed, which I'm very surprised he actually died. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was very weird. Yeah.
But then later she's like, I knew you were the good guys. I knew he trusted you with it. They're like, you thought we killed him at first, making your dialogue. Yeah. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? And then they had this gravity tech. And like, why don't y'all use this for weapons? Like, it would be way more fed than what y'all been doing trying to cast Shadow.
Yeah,
I'm forgetting her name, but who was the other human character that we know?
Oh, Maddie?
Maddie?
Yeah, she slays.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
her.
Maddie's great.
Yeah, she's cool. Tom also made me
You know
laugh.
something that I've noticed
Hold on.
about Maddie is that for each movie, she's wearing a colored shirt that corresponds to the character that comes next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the first movie, it was yellow, and then the second movie was red, and then the third movie is pink.
So in the next movie, she'll be wearing silver. And I'll be like, oh.
I still think they're going to wait 2 films for Silver.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think the next film, at worst, is probably going to end with like a chaotic tease for like Sonic Heroes or something.
Yeah. I think Maddie was cool. Like I said, Team Sonic, like this whole team was just enjoyable. I don't think there was like a single one of them I was like, this is not working for me. I think all of them were like very enjoyable. I think Tom was kind of a step down from what he was in Sonic 2.
Wait. Answer Tivia's question.
Okay. Question: how do you feel about Sonic 3 beating Mufasa in the box office? Because for me, I'm happy for Sonic 3 beating Mufasa in the box office. I'm surprised, but it's an enjoyable one.
Yeah, well deserved. Well deserved. Yeah,
Nobody
nobody
needs more money, okay?
Yep.
Actually,
nobody was asking for Mufasa to have a movie and for us to feel sympathetic for Scar, you know?
To be fair, I've seen the film. They don't try to really make him sympathetic in the natural sense.
Uh-huh.
This not really spoilers, but there's a reason Scar's the way it is. And it's not Mufasa's fault, and also not technically Star's fault.
Okay.
I guess to speed through some things, I guess we're going to talk about the post-credit scene. How do you guys feel about it?
There was 2, first of all.
Yeah, but one of them matters.
How you feel about Tails not getting anything this film, real quick?
No, I mean, Tails got stuff to do. I mean, he makes the plan that gets them into the facility. He helps Stone realize the value of like what he wants in life. Like he wants Eggman to see him as a friend and not a partner. He has more to do in this movie than he did in the last movie.
He may have had like lower quality scenes, Tails, but keep in mind, like when you already have like 3 other alpha male hedgehogs like Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow.
Knuckles not a hedgehog. You racist.
Oh, they look the same, right?
That's racism.
Yeah.
I was actually I was surprised about how much they gave Tails to do, even if it wasn't like the biggest thing in the world. But he did have a lot to do in this movie.
They just didn't stand out.
Jake, you the only person gonna get this reference most likely. I thought they were gonna give him the Amy scene.
Oh, you mean where he was gonna talk to Shadow? He's gonna be like,
when they have to do like the compassion speech and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's in the movie they gave to Sonic. So but Sonic also already had to talk with Knuckles, so I assumed they're gonna give it to Tails or someone else, or have Knuckles give it to him.
Yeah.
Because Knuckles also had his heart changed and everything.
Shadow has a thing out for Tails though.
Yeah.
That's why it would have been funny.
I think getting to the Amy, I'm trying to speed through things. We're already over an hour.
But, it's fine. I just wanted to bring it up real quick.
As far as the Amy scene goes, I'm gonna reserve judgment for what they're gonna do with Amy until the movie comes out. I already suspect I know.
Talk about her look. How did her model look to you?
I know because it's just to tease the one to come. It's probably not gonna be the one we're stuck with. I think it looks a bit off, but it's probably just because they were just trying to rush to put it in there. It'll probably look better when the next movie.
Yeah, it looked like all the fan-made models people made for Amy.
Yeah, so I wasn't really.
I gotta say, like they hit us with a 1-2 punch with that after credit scene. When I was at my theater, right, I already saw like a standing ovation when they showed Metal Sonic, right? A lot of the kids and the adults were all, "Oh my God, Metal Sonic!" And then when Amy popped up at the end, everybody was like standing and clapping. I'm like, "Good Lord, I didn't know she had this many fans."
I'm not gonna lie to you. When Metal Sonic showed up on the screen, I said, "Huh?" Because Eggman had quote unquote, like I knew he wasn't dead, but it was like it was implied that not much time had happened since the movie ended. I was like, how did he make all this so quickly? I was like, but hey, I already mentioned before, fan service doesn't work on me like that, so I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Amy always had fans. It just Amy has a weird resurgence going on right now. If you look at the fan base,
second one that I feel like we need to bring up.
Wait. I wanted to talk about the
Okay.
Metal Sonic thing because I'm a huge Metal Sonic fan. So seeing him the first time he showed on screen, I was excited. And they showed an army of him. I was like, oh, this guy's going to be weak.
Yeah.
This guy's going to be trash.
It's probably
And then
gonna be
Andy showed up and destroyed like 5 of them or something. I was like, oh God. I don't know. I don't know if I can see the next movie, bro.
Which I heard you try to talk, but look, I'm gonna say one thing, and then give it to you. I don't like how Metal Sonic looks because it is the games, but he's not. But that doesn't make any sense because Metal Sonic's supposed to approximate Sonic's look, but Sonic doesn't look like the game version in this universe, so I don't understand why. He looks like
He was a 1-for-1 from the game. It threw me off for a minute.
Yeah. But which what were you trying to say earlier?
So there is a second post-credit scene. I didn't see it till after I left the theater because I had to go pee really badly because you know how movies work. So there was a second one. Did you guys watch it?
Yes.
Oh.
It was exactly what I said it was going to be.
Which it was a funny story because I left the theater and then I said, "Damn, did I forget something in the theater?" So I went back to go see it, and then the scene just played. I was like,
Oh, geez, I didn't see that part. I left after the Amy part happened.
Okay, so basically, do you mind if we spoil it for you?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, it shows like a little crater with like a ring looking thing, you know, and we see Shadow's shoes at the end, so he's not dead, which I fucking knew because they would not kill off of that popular of a character.
That's why they killed him off in the game. They were like, oh, he's popular. Bring him back immediately.
Yeah, fun fact, you're supposed to stay dead in the game.
Yeah. That's the inhibitor rings. They didn't get any talk about in this movie at all. So it was weird seeing that them try to make it important like in the game scene. So it was like,
maybe if we spent less time with Gerald dancing around, we could have gone over that.
Yeah. But Shadow's chaos powers is too chaotic. That's what he said. So the inhibitor rings keep them on a manageable level. That's why you can do like the chaos snap and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Casual.
At this point in the franchise, if he takes the inhibitor rings off, it's implied he will die.
Yeah, he will burn through the power and kill himself.
Yeah. So, but yeah, in terms of the Amy scene, like I'm already kind of nervous about how they're gonna adapt Amy because there's always a bit of attention with her right now. And this is a studio that doesn't have to give a fuck about what the fans want. Yeah. So I know they care, but
I don't think they have a crush on Sonic.
No,
I think they should
come on,
do
they have to.
No, in current games and media, they take it out anyway. So I doubt they're going to do it for the movie.
It's been a back and forth thing. In the comics, they just recently reestablished she clearly does. In the games, they said, in a game that takes place in the present, they said, oh, she's getting over it. But now they're retconning old games and say she never had it. So it's this weird thing with her.
Yeah.
We don't really know what she is.
I think they should do what we said they should do the Thanos and Hela or Mrs. Death. The same thing here. Jake said this before too, where I think Sonic should have the crush on her this time around. If they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
I think you flip the dynamic on his head. First female hedgehog in general. I like to see Sonic deal with that for a while.
I think it's a shame because I think it's kind of more inspirational for like little girls, like like your first time you get a crush and you're all about boys, and then you realize you got to grow up, and I think that's Amy should be going for. I think that's more inspirational to girls and just like I'm a tough girl. I don't need anybody. Like I think that's just kind of that's not really as inspirational to me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't speak for little girls, but it's just an arc I really liked. But yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm actually glad we're getting Amy as opposed to like another rival character like Blaze.
I think it's still too early for Blaze. Like, if it's early for Silver, it's too early for Blaze.
Yeah, I think we do rush before Silver, in my opinion.
I think my problem with it had been Silver or Blaze is that this would have been the third time in a row we would have gotten a, oh, Sonic, I'm your new enemy. Oh,
I'm here to kill you. Oh, you guys look pretty cool. Let's have a conversation. Team up.
Have a conversation by the beach or on the moon or some shit. And then that's all this junk. So I'm glad that we fixed that. We're doing a character that's just a normal good guy. And we'll just, even though I'm sure it's not going
to. The next one should be just a straightforward good versus evil fight if the setup is right. Either way, the game they do.
Even though I'm sure Amy's going to have that scene where she's curled up into a ball crying because, her trauma. And then so I was going to be like, hey, chill.
I think they're going to try to go the Peach route where she's clearly strong, independent. She's been doing this for a while. She's been fighting Metal Sonic for a while. She knows what she's doing. Yeah. But her having a crush on, she can still like Sonic to a degree, like Peach did with Mario, but it doesn't
Mhm.
detract from anything. It's just clearly another thing about her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's fine. But yeah, I think to wrap up my final thoughts, and you guys can do yours. I think at the end of the day, for me, I think this is an enjoyable enough movie. I think Joe just really bogs it down. I think, but the movie, to the movie's credit, it almost completely understands what makes a Sonic story work. Because I think in the first act, it really balances that goofy nature from a Sonic story, but also can get that serious and cool factor into it. I think it needs to do a better job of understanding fan service and what works for the plot. But those moments are few and far between, so I'm not really that mad at it. I'm still gonna hold my 7 out of 10. I think it's weaker than the second movie, but I still enjoy it. I don't know if I'll rewatch it though.
What was your rating for the second movie?
I think I was rethinking it over. If it wasn't for the wedding scene, I think it would have kind of been a 9. I think I dropped it down to an 8. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. I guess my final thoughts. Still like the movie. I'd rewatch it. If anybody finds a GIF of Gerald dying, send it to me so I could give it to Jake. So, all right.
Yeah. They just dying in that stupid way. Actually, that was funny.
Oh
Though.
no, that reminded me. Okay, I wanted to bring this up. Shadow shows back up on the arc after Gerald's dead. Doesn't even look for him or realize he's gone, and that's just it. He doesn't bring it up.
Does not give a fuck.
Bro, that was killing me. I was like, you were evil with this guy until like 2 seconds ago. You don't care that he's not here?
No.
Well,
But-
when the planet is in danger, all right. Just saying.
Yeah, he's getting it.
I did want to bring that up. One last thing too. I did not like the Eggman versus Gerald fight because you're seeing two the smartest minds of their lifetimes having this silly, stupid slapstick fight. It was not really that good.
For the tone of this movie at that point, yeah, no.
No, it was
Yeah,
definitely.
it cut from the dark Sonic fight to that, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bad, but you reminded me. I wanted to bring that up so much.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead. Next one.
Which?
Final thought. Which?
I liked the movie. I thought it was pretty good. Some things did not need to be in this movie. I am excited for Sonic 4. We'll see what they do with Amy. Whether they go like how she originally was or how she turned out now, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. That I don't have much to say unless like future speculation on who's showing up for the 5th one,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you go ahead and say who you think. If
also,
you want to.
one last thing. James Marsden is still hot as hell.
Oh wait, did you see in the marketing he kept bringing up X-Men every chance he could?
Tag
Ain't no actual question. He brought it back to X-Men.
me in.
Wow.
Sorry.
You think Shadow can? Who do you think the strongest person Shadow can fight? I think Cyclops will beat him. Like what?
He said, "Please tag me in, Coach Kevin Feige. Tag me in, please."
But
Okay.
I just talking over. I was gonna give it a 5 recently. I'll give it a 6.5. I don't know about rewatch this film. To be fair, I haven't rewatched the second one really, unless it casually came on TV. But I'll watch clips from this again. Like I said, every fight here is great. The real emotional bits are done well enough. Like I said, for me, a 6.5 isn't a bad film. It's just not a great film, in my opinion.
Gotcha. But alrighty then. I guess we finally got through the review. I guess.
Yeah, if anyone wanted any proof that nostalgia and bias does not affect me, this is the film. All right, this is the one. I did not give a fuck. But yeah, all right, let's get out of here. Are we doing anything special this week? Do we have to announce, or are we good?
Stay tuned for tomorrow for not only our comic/media news, but also a special review of any holiday comics that we could have gotten our hands on.
Yay.
So I have 2.
Gotcha. So, alright then, audience. I guess with that, we'll see y'all next time. Thank you for joining us.
Bye, guys.
See y'all.
Remember, no episode on Tuesday. It's Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Getting us out of here.